been thinking for a while now that what the people need, what my Instagram page needs,
The Daily Blue,
and what the world needs is another two white blokes in their mid-20s, early 30s, sitting around in cool fucking hats, putting their two cents in.
That the world is in desperate need. They've been begging for it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever episode of Daily Blue Weekly.
Ooh.
It's exciting. We should have teed up some sound effects with this big cool soundboard you've got, but we didn't do it. So, this is the official podcast of the Daily Blue. If you know what that is, it's Newcastle's satirical. It's the poor man's Batuta Advocate, based here in our beautiful city of Newcastle. But you know, we're all children of the world.
And I'm not even a local of Newcastle.
You're not.
No.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who I am, my name is Josh Nielsen. I go by the nickname Bluey, and the handsome gentleman sitting to my right is Gabe Tom.
In City Country.
That's good. What's happening, mate? How you going?
Man, I'm going good. I'm excited. I'm excited for the people to.
There's going to be some kinks.
Hopefully, the first of hundreds, thousands.
I'm assuming so.
Well,
it's going to be a bumpy ride, but just strap in, enjoy the show. So basically, the idea is we're going to give you our take on the news, but when I say our take on the news, you're not going to get any. You're not going to learn anything.
Nah.
It's not going to at all be informative. As I said, the world needs more white blokes in their mid-20s, early 30s putting their 2 cents worth in via the podcasting platform.
You'll be lucky if you learn.
You won't learn a thing. But what we're going to do is we're going to take you through a little bit of national news, just a couple of stories that we found that thought you might find interesting. We're going to hit a bit of local news, our beautiful city of Newcastle, talk a little bit of sport, talk food, because we're both big foodies. And then we've got something special at the end of the episode as well that we're going to be doing every week. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of Daily Blue Weekly.
Let's rip in.
Let's do it. So first cab off the rank, which I think is going to set the tone nicely for, just how this show goes fully. You sent me a nice article, Gabe, of a couple of great fights in a couple of McDonald's in Adelaide.
I did.
So a woman... One's in Adelaide. One was... Where was the other one at?
I think Perth.
Perth. So we've got some footage here that we'll clip into the podcast if you're watching on YouTube, but... Footage reveals the extent of Mia Miller's violent rampage against Macca's staffs. Now, this is from news.com.au. We've got some CCTV footage has emerged showing the moment a teenager on a drug-fueled drunken rampage. Hey, been there.
Yeah, oh well.
Been there.
King Street Macca's got
Order wrong or something.
That's what I was going to say. Is there a chance that this person deserved it? I mean, look.
This video is... it's pretty wild. She just starts launching drinks.
Fucked up.
First of all, the Macca's food delivery system is asking for this because they just queue the drinks up. Yeah. If someone's in a mood, there's just ammunition.
Especially night outs, like King Street Macca's, all the food just sitting there.
Mate.
That being said, it's pretty dead there these days.
Macca's, yeah. So that was the second thing I thought of was, I haven't done this, obviously. I've wanted to do it.
A friend did it.
Mate, a few weeks ago, I was badly hungover and... I've learned recently that the Mac attack is not the go anymore. I'm past it. Hungover, drunk or sober, I think I've outgrown Mac. It's fucking low feed.
It's bottom tier fast food.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
And there's so many better options out there.
Fucking oath.
So I've got, but the thing that trumps everything is convenience.
Yes.
It's fucking unbelievably convenient.
It's the fastest food.
Yeah. So it's the fastest.
Yeah,
it's the OG. So I've gone to Mac Attack, Dusty, probably 3 weeks ago, and I've never seen it before, and I hopefully never see it again. I've got a 20-pack of nuggies and a couple of burgies just to poke along with.
Couple.
Yeah, I'm a big boy, and the nuggets have come out, and mate, they fucking absolutely scorched the nuggies. They were, I didn't even know you could do it. They've just left him in there for too long. There was no chicken. It was
just
hard.
Crust.
It was crust all the way through. I've never ever seen it before. I was so hungover. I wasn't going back to the drive-through. I was fucking ropeable. So then when I saw this clip, I was like,
I can understand where she's going from.
I wanted to do what this chick did. I wanted to go in there and unleash hell on these fucking dickheads.
Especially hungover too.
Oh my God. So then when I saw this video, I was like, yeah.
It's that's kind of fucked up.
It's kind of fucked up. And then the second thing I thought of, so back in my heyday as a fresh 18-year-old, we used to hit the King Street Hotel,
years ago.
That is
years ago.
I'm 31, so it is years with a capital Y. King Street Hotel is for you now, young fella. And if you're not from Newcastle, Cambridge is like the place to be on a Sunday.
And to be chockers in there then on
packed, mate.
A couple of years ago, like Saturdays at King's, that Macca's was packed.
I
feel like it's pretty dead now.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't see me a lot out on Sundays anymore, thankfully. But it was like fucking crazy. And we used to go in there. I didn't have a lot of money when I was 18. I don't have a lot now, but I had less when I was 18. And me and a couple of my mates used to go in there, and they just yell the order numbers out.
Oh.
And it was so busy. So we would capitalise on like the pandemonium.
Yeah.
If you heard like a good sort of 5-second break, they'd be like, number 42. And then we'd count to like 3. And if they went to call 42 again, we'd yep. Yeah. And just grab the food. Oh. And it was like a lucky dip.
It's eyes up footy.
Yeah.
That's what that is. You're playing what's in front of you.
100%, bro. Yeah. So we would steal food. We would steal the food. And it was then like a lucky dip. So we'd reconvene at the Market Town car park, which is like, again, straight across Yellow Road.
So hold on. So you would do one and then your mate would do
then I'd leave.
But you would try and do separate ones.
Well, yeah, because we all got to eat. And at the time I was living in the suburbs. So the cab was like $60-$70. Yeah. So, and you're already done all your money on fucking cheap narcotics and fucking.
You can con yourself into it being fair. You're like, I'm already spending this fucking
I have
money.
For a decade and a half. So we would steal the food and then we would go to the Market Town car park and be like, what'd you get? And like, who got the better feed?
We're just trading shit.
Yeah, like if I didn't like, Big Macs or whatever and mate didn't like whatever, but it was rarely like that. Yeah. One time I got chased down. No. So I was fairly, at 18, I was at the peak of my powers athletically. Like it's been a steady decline obviously since then, but I was like really fast and I got chased down, so I bolted and I saw the security guard. There was a dude security guard came after me, and I went straight for number 2 sports ground, which is again like, I don't know, 500 meters. Thought I'd lost him, pulled up and started eating, and he came hooking around the corner. I was like, fuck. And he goes, hands on his hips, and we're both sitting there like blowing, sucking in seagulls, and he goes, mate, you got to come back with me. I said, get fucked.
Yeah.
I said, I'll give you the food and you go back and say I ran off. And he goes, yeah, righto.
Negotiate.
So I saw it and then I think I stopped doing it after that.
That's a classic example of Secchi's taking their job too seriously.
Respect.
Respect
to him running me down.
Macca's Secchi just was after you for that fucking long.
Didn't
give up after you thought you lost him too.
You got to realise who you're stealing. I'm stealing from McDonald's. Yeah. It's the biggest corporation on the planet.
Fair, actually.
It's a victimless crime. Get you $20 an hour, mate. Kick back.
Yeah.
But yeah, when Macca's, nothing good happens in a Macca's after 9 p.m.
Nah, fuck.
Like, I don't care where you are. What
these fucking people we're about to watch really go to show it. I was talking shit like they do deserve.
Did you work at a Macca's when you were younger?
No.
Because I remember that was like the first job for a few people.
Oh yeah, fucking hell.
Back when we were kids, mate, the minimum wage was insane. It was like
$7.
Yeah, $6 or $7 an hour. Yeah. How good's that?
Right. Well,
it's the ultimate business model.
But yeah, fucking oath.
So that was So there's some good CCTV. Should I play this chick going berserk?
Oh, hold on. Well, don't play it yet. We'll put our headphones in so we can hear it.
You chuck them in. I've got my hands full. But this is, Mia Miller, who I think she got made to publicly apologise. Oh, that's right. So further down this story, one of the staff is milking the tits off this. So one of the staff got a clip off her. Keep in mind, she's a fucking 19-year-old chick. Yeah. This is the quote from the staff member who is just looking for some deadly compo. This is Mr. Majora, who I believe he's the manager. And he said, this was the worst shift of my entire 15-year McDonald career. Hell of a career. I bet you've had some bludgers too, mate. Oh, yeah. He goes, this traumatic event has fundamentally altered my outlook on life.
Bro's acting like you went on an acid trip.
He's looking for a compo claim. I have experienced some flashbacks and triggers that bring back memories of the incident. And that affects my focus and concentration at work, and my performance has declined.
That is
obviously he's a proud man. He rates performance is important to him. And there was another one of the Majora. Yeah, no, this is Mr. Majorata again. He's been forced to quit working at the Macca's as a direct impact of the assault.
Oh, so, why? Because did he retaliate or something?
No.
He was forced.
We'll play it. Yeah. He got some drinks thrown at him, and he's looking for a fucking heavy compo claim, I reckon. Let's launch into it. I don't want to be racist, but I believe that might be Mr. Majorata yelling, get out.
Oh, she's coming around the side. Oh,
Drinks just lined up, looking to get launched.
she had to be on something, right?
Yeah.
Or just a good old fashioned rumba.
Nah, she's fucked up. Don't. I mean, there's just so much ammunition to start launching at these guys.
And everyone, surely someone stop her because like now you have to wait longer for your food too.
It's so busy. This guy got a clip, and I think he's looking for a compo claim later on in the comments as well.
Oh, I mean that's not doing any damage, is it?
Well, apparently so.
Look, I would eat that punch.
Yeah, she's a 19-year-old chick. Just take your medicine.
Hit him with his wrist. You guys would have seen it. But look, I'm saying maybe a couple cappuccinos at the club she was at.
Yeah, she's up it.
Yeah.
she's well and truly up it. Well, I got marched out of there once by a female security guard as well because I lit a cigarette inside. But I mean, that's the thing. This is what happens at McDonald's after hours.
And when it's like, when you say marched out by a female secchi, did you just like you were just following orders?
Yeah, I was just do as you're told, mate.
You got me.
Take your medicine. I did light a cigarette inside. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's our first story.
Cool.
How good's that?
Mate, I think that went well. Let's go into the news story of the submarine that went to take tourists to see the Titanic.
Yes. So if you've been following the real news lately, you're probably aware that a submersible has gone missing on a dive to the Titanic wreck. How ironic.
Yeah.
How
That's hilarious.
ironic. This one's from ABC News. Yeah, that is a sitter.
Yeah.
So there's a submersible has gone missing while on a dive to the wreck of the Titanic in the Atlantic Ocean. It was carrying people down to the wreck. So it's like a tourist boat.
It is.
That is like the worst tour. Like I'm so claustrophobic.
I was going to ask
Open
about the ocean.
water,
Yeah.
cold water.
Pressurized little fucking...
I'd just be ripping farts in that thing too. I'd just be fart. Like imagine the smell. I think it's got 4 people or 5 people on it. Hopefully they're all right.
It's a small looking thing.
Prayers up. Hopefully they're all right.
Yes, well, they haven't been found yet.
Yeah, and I heard on the news today they only had like 40 hours of oxygen left.
I saw that too.
Again, there'd be a lot less if I was on there because I'd be farting and like smoking ciggies in there.
Bro, like a road trip with people that you like is like hard enough sometimes. And then like now you're just stuck in a little submarine so far below, well, assumingly so far below the fucking sea level.
Yeah, miles.
Who knows if they've even seen the Titanic? Here's what I want to tell you. Guess I'm on the 8-day exhibition
And
to
you
see
die-
the famous wreck in this fucking sub-missile.
And you might die.
Yeah, and you might not fucking come back.
And you might die. Yeah, that's nuts.
I can think of a million things I'd rather spend that money on.
Yeah, nice all-inclusive holiday in the sun somewhere.
I'm not much of a...
Obviously, I hope these people don't die, but it's pretty funny.
But also,
It's pretty funny.
Here's something else funny about it for you. There's a photo floating around. Apparently, this is the control that operates this fucking submarine missile.
If you're listening, it's a PlayStation controller.
It's not even a PlayStation
It's
controller.
a PS1.
It's like one of those knockoff
Yeah.
PlayStation controllers when you couldn't get an actual fucking one.
Yeah, it's like the cheap ones. It's a cheap PlayStation controller.
People have like found like photos of what they're using to
That
operate
has to
this thing.
That has to be a joke.
People are going off about it, bro. Like either it's just a meme that's gone too far, or
Strangers.
it also said 8-day exhibition. That thing looks small.
Yeah, it could
Are they
be.
sleeping?
How far down is the Does it say how far down the Titanic could be?
I feel like it did say how far it was.
And they're miles off the coast. Like they're so far away.
I don't even know how they're sleeping in that thing. Well, yeah. But thoughts and prayers with them, I guess. Thoughts and prayers.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for those guys. Holy shit!
Okay.
This one's actually quite close to my heart too.
Okay, yeah.
So this one's from news.com.au, written by Jason Murphy. Shout out Jason Murphy, the journo. No idea who that is.
Good on you, Jas.
The headline reads, catastrophic. Iconic Australian snack at risk of dying out as sales plummet. Now, that might sound alarmist to a lot of people, and it is.
And I'm thinking Vegemite. I'm thinking something in that category when I hear that headline.
It's fucking worse than that, mate. Jason Murphy is telling us that new data has revealed that this classic snack could be on the way out. He's talking about pies.
That's...
So according to the data, per capita GDP people are eating less pies, and they reckon it could get to a stage where like they stop making pies and people like if we don't keep eating pies. Personally,
if we don't keep eating pies,
personally,
I have to take a stand.
Personally, I'm sure news.com.au publishes a lot of garbage. This could be like this time of year. All I want to do is eat pies.
Agreed.
It's fucking freezing and nothing like warms you up, makes you feel safe, home. Nice little gourmet option if you're working near a nice bakery or something. I do find this story hard to believe, but I'm also worried that it might be true.
Oh, it could be fear mongering, absolutely. But
it could be
to get us to start buying more big pastry,
and we go out and panic and start buying pies in bulk. Little chart there, which we might clip into it.
I did witness that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they're getting this data from.
Well, here's a question for you. What is your pie of preference?
Pepper steak.
That's my second.
I'm a pepper steak. So my every bakery I go to,
Pepper steak Barbie sauce.
Pepper steak Barbie sauce, and I get a cheese and bacon sausage roll. Okay. That doesn't matter where I go, what their specialty is. That's me. What do you go for?
Curry
pie. That's your first choice.
I know that's a controversial take.
That's fucking weird. Starting to rethink this venture with you. I wish I'd asked you that before we started the podcast.
It's like, by the way, bro, I know we got that pie thing coming up. Just to double check.
What the fuck?
But
I did just bring you a sausage roll too, and you didn't touch it. Now I know why.
No, I don't mind a sausage roll, but I also do have another take that you're going to hate as well. But steak and pepper, that's second for me. And if I'm going into a servo, that's probably what I'm going to try and get my hands on. Pepper steak, Barbie sauce, just like you. Had one before golf the other day. It was actually really good. I don't do the cheese and bacon. I don't like cheese.
Cheese and bacon pie?
I don't like cheese. I don't like
cheese and bacon pie, cheese and bacon sausage roll.
Either or. I don't eat cheese.
Oh, is that you got to?
No, that's just a choice.
Doesn't make you sick or anything?
Is this the end of the show?
This could be very short-lived. This could be This would be like, remember Mal Meninga's political career? Have you seen that video?
No.
Well, if anyone's listening and they remember when Mal Meninga tried to start a political career and his first radio junket he went on, he got on the radio and got like 4 seconds into his opening speech about him running for office, choked and walked out.
Oh, he just called.
He just quit. Like, he said, "That's it, I'm done," and that was it. And this is what this podcast is going to be like.
This is me choking.
Yeah.
By
no. I'm about to quit because you don't eat cheese.
And I'll overtake the Daily Blue Weekly.
Yeah, you can have it.
But thanks, man. But I do think we need to do something about keeping pies in servos.
Yeah,
particularly chunky ones.
So they're saying. What are they saying here?
Did it say COVID had something to do with it?
Yeah, they're blaming the pandemic, and they're also so obviously, as you'd imagine,
classic propaganda. They
say there's two. They have two. Yeah, more propaganda. There's two, like in the pie. Obviously, the pie eating seasons. You get two really good 3-month periods over winter, which is like what we're in the guts of now, and then obviously over summer, you don't want a hot pie as much. So they're the weaker months. But they said in the pandemic, so we ate loads of pies all through the year during the pandemic.
Oh,
I'm assuming comfort food.
Good point.
Putting on the COVID coat, we're all a bit sad.
Eating our feelings.
Winter 2022, we ate fewer pies, and then over the summer, an enormous collapse.
Which partly adds up, like we said. Summertime, not renowned for pie eating.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's a concern. So if you're listening to this, go out there and get a pie. I'm surely, that's not going to happen. We're not going to run out of pies.
Look, I'm going to have to come watch you play footy on the weekend, but there's not a better pie than a local footy pie.
Footy pie? Footy pie. Let us know in the comments your favourite bakeries too, because I'm getting out and about eating things lately, and I like pies. Yeah. This is our last bit of national news, and again, as we said, we're getting all the hard-hitting stories this week. A blind man in the UK has been kicked out of a gym for staring at a woman. Which is quite timely because I'm seeing my algorithm's giving me a lot of videos of one, women working out lately, but two, when they're like filming and they're like dudes staring at them. Catching creeps. Yeah, exactly. So that's what this chick thought she'd done at the gym here in the UK. She thought she had caught this guy staring at her creepily. She went and told the staff and they booted him out, and then sort of got halfway through and they realised he was blind.
Fucking hell.
He was just staring into space.
Into nothingness. She set up a camera in front of a blind dude.
I don't know if she set up a camera. I don't think there's.
So what? She just thinks she just had a glance and saying this cunt
Yeah.
hasn't stopped looking.
This chick didn't actually set up a camera.
Well, I do respect that much.
But it's like, this is him. He's got the stare. He does have the stare. That is both the stare. They are actually pretty close.
If that guy was looking at me, to be fair, I would be like asking some questions.
The stare of a blind man and the stare of a horny gym pervert are actually quite similar when you look at that.
What? Upon reviewing this photo, I'm not that offer. That could be a pervert or a blind man. I'm not sure.
So he's obviously acknowledged that there's a bit of a culture at the moment about catching gym creeps.
So he's aware of the fad.
Yeah, and he still does it. And he still goes out there and does it.
And stares at him. The fucking
I don't really know where I'm looking a lot of the time unless I'm talking to someone. Yeah, obviously you're blind,
Yeah,
bro.
a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Literally all the fucking time.
Poor bugger.
He's got himself in good nick for a blind dude.
Yeah.
I always wonder how blind people like.
He's looking at the camera in this one.
Yeah. Oh, it's a cover up.
I'm starting to think this guy might not be that blind.
Or maybe he's like legally blind.
Yeah.
Like he's not allowed to drive and shit.
But he's not blind. He can still perv.
Yeah. And he's hiding under that guy.
You know, you go to the RMS and they make you read like the letters. There's like tits there, and you got to like. He's like, yeah. So that's unfortunate for young Addison. But yeah,
Well, hopefully the gym takes him back in.
yeah, I'm sure.
I'm assuming they will.
I don't think they're going to keep his ban.
I would like to find out that he wasn't blind. I mean, I don't want people perving at the gym, but it's just funny if he's gone to that much commitment to get away.
Do you go to the gym? Do you have a gym around here that you go to?
Yeah, I do. I only go for a little bit in the morning. But
Yeah. It's funny, like, gym culture is pretty fucking weird, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I won't name the gym. There's a big one in town here that I used to go to, and, like, regularly would see dudes, like, on the juice, like, big steroid up units.
Is it
training with
is it like the franchise gym?
No. It's like
okay.
it's a big gym in
Okay,
town.
yeah.
But like you regularly see big juiced up units training shirtless.
Yeah.
Like in a busy gym at like 3 o'clock
In winter.
4 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah,
Yeah.
4 o'clock in the arvo, just no shirt.
Yeah.
Like mate, that's fucking insane. That's crazy behavior.
I'm all for like, love your body, man. Whatever. Not that much to get it off in public, or at least respect the people around you.
That's crazy. It's fucking like it's crazy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, the one I go to though, it's pretty tame, so I'm actually happy. I don't have too many fucking people walking around juiced up in the one I go.
You don't strike me as the shirts off trainer kind of
Well,
guy.
you'd be surprised what I got underneath this fucking blue shirt, mate.
Big juiced up unit. All right, we're going to cover a little bit of local news now, and something that's not that funny,
No,
but is important
It
that
is.
happened this week. The fucking Burwood caught fire. Now, if you're listening to this from outside of Newcastle, the Burwood is a very, very famous, very, very popular pub right in the middle of Merriweather, which is a very affluent suburb full of wealthy white people near the beach. But the Burwood
great
fucking
description.
rules, and the Burwood's also very famous because it's where Joey Johns and Matty Johns and the Knights at the peak of their powers used to just run amok. It's nicknamed the Zoo.
that's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an iconic pub.
Yeah.
And it fucking burned down this week. Well, the restaurant, to be fair, the bar's okay apparently. I don't think they're working, but from the photos and stuff that I could see in the article, the restaurant's fucked, the kitchen's obviously fucked, and all the seating at the back's fucked. But from what I can gather, the front bar, which is where you do your best work,
Of course.
it looks like it's okay. So I don't know. They do a really good steak there. But obviously not going to be for a while now. But yeah, fucking actually really bad news. And as we're recording this, this is State of Origin Day today.
It is.
So I was like pretty freaked.
Yeah, you wrote a very timely. It's a timely event, and you wrote a timely article.
Well, Andrew
regarding
Johns
it.
is obviously widely regarded as our best ever halfback for the Blues, if not ever.
Yeah, if not,
And his fucking favourite watering hole burning down the day before Origin 2
as if we didn't have enough bad luck.
I don't like it.
No.
I don't like it. So very, very sad news there, the Burwood. Hopefully they can recover. There would be people listening. It's fucking a lot of fun in there, eh?
I actually haven't been.
You haven't been there for a drink? It's really good.
So once they're back on their feet,
Yes.
Daily Blue Weekly, we'll have to go there.
We will go there for a drink.
And
Well, I won't say where you live, but you live in a couple of very good pubs here as well.
a couple of iconic
Might have to
Newcastle pubs.
Go for a nice little brainstorming session.
That suits me.
Fucking bland.
Now, look, conspiracy number one about the Burwood is definitely that Billy Slater and the Maroons have, either done it themselves or sent a spy down to infuriate Andrew Johns even more into, they're playing the mind game in terms of Origin.
Joey's had the week from hell because him and Matty are blowing massively.
That's where I'm getting to conspiracy number 2. Now, I don't want to fucking say Matty Johns would stoop that low. As a boy who's played in New
You're kind of saying it. You're kind of saying it right now.
But look, Joey, it seemed he's walked off the radio show.
Yeah, so they had a blue. Matty hosts SEN, hosts a show on SEN, Morning Glory maybe. He hosts a show on SEN, the sports network, and him and Joey had a stink on it
because he was rapping Queensland.
Yeah. And he was just saying that they're fucking good, which is like objectively, Queensland are good. That's a fair thing to say. But Joey got the shit and left, and then he's actually quit. Joey's actually fully fucking quit the radio show. So that was actually a couple of people in the comments of the article that I wrote were saying that it could have been Matty that burned it down. Like he organised to meet Joey there and then torch the pub. So yeah, but very, very sad that the Burwoods burned down, and hopefully they can get back on their feet as soon as humanly possible.
Well, yeah, I would love to believe that Matty Johns isn't capable of that and would never do that to his initial home and his state. I believe he still loves the Blues. He was just acknowledging what he saw.
Matty's one of my mates. He wouldn't do it.
No. Trust me, bro.
I was talking to him. We had a feed the other day. We caught up.
Oh, caught up. Had a couple Steel Cities.
He's one of my boys. Yeah. So that is some sad news, and hopefully the Burwood's back on its feet soon because that place fucking rules. In more local news, the fucking climate nerds are at it again. The port, so the coal port, Kooragang Island, Carrington. The climate nerds one of them's climbed over, suspended himself over a train bridge in the port, protesting coal, and they're just fucking things up for everyone.
Turn of events.
Yeah, it's fucking, so we can't drop any freight. They've done it all over the place. They've done it at in Queensland and Victoria as well, but obviously Kooragang and Carrington is the biggest coal port in the world. So when these things happen, I sort of get two trains of thought. Well, I'm pretty sure Kooragang is the biggest coal port in the world. They're from Blockade Australia, these fucking nerds. And I always have a train of thought when they're doing it because they're like 22-year-olds who I'm sure drove to the fucking to do it. They use fossil fuels. Well, they use fossil fuels is what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
And they do it, and I'm like, they think they're shutting it down for like 2 hours before they get carted away and arrested. It's the biggest coal port in the world. Yes, that 2 hours is worth a lot of downtime to them, but in the grand scheme of things, it's like
they're going to start tomorrow.
Yeah, it's mate. They'll be started as soon as she's off site.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Before she's in the paddy wagon, they'll be fired back up going. So it annoys me because I'm like, we're all using fossil fuels, and yeah, we all know that it's bad, but there's no better option. Like Germany and that tried to go green. They're all back using coal.
I didn't know that, yeah.
It's bad. But
of course it's bad, but it's like, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah. And like chain yourself to a fucking, I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're like raising awareness for it because we know that it's bad. Burning coal's not good. And they're like, oh, we're raising awareness. I was like, yeah, we know. Yeah. Like, you're just annoying people.
And unfortunately, mate, we also have to drive to fucking work.
Yeah, we need fossil fuels. Yeah. That's just how things are.
Yeah, that shit does my head in too because it's like they almost do it for like, I don't know if it's like they just want some press or they just want the validation of like, look at this good thing I'm fucking doing.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, definitely. It annoys me. But this wouldn't happen in America. They just get shot.
Yeah, they're fucking lucky they live here.
And just our final bit of local news, which we'll touch on, and then we'll get into it more in next week's episode. The Cambridge Hotel is closing down this weekend.
Now, even someone who isn't a Newey local, I know the importance of.
Well, the Cambridge is cranking right now. So I'm sure you've had a few nights in there lately.
I have had a couple. I went there the other weekend actually, and they opened up a back area which I didn't even know they fucking had, like an outdoor area. Do they normally open that up?
No, is that the car park?
It must be. Yeah, they open it up there.
It's only on special nights. But the Cambridge is closing down, which sucks because it's
terrible for Newey nightlife.
Terrible. And we won't go into it too much now because I want to talk a lot about it on next week's show and share some stories about fucking. Oh boy, I've got some stories. Oh boy. But yeah, it sucks because it's also an awesome live music venue and they get fucking good big names all the time. It's a big enough venue to get good acts, and it's small enough that you get like really good intimate shows there. Comedians, music, metal, DJs, everything. They've done it for years, and it's been fucking mad.
And
It's going to be sad to see.
schooling,
It's going to be something crap.
like units.
It's
like,
going to be.
I think it's like for uni students. Like
It's
they're
going to
turning
be
into stuff.
something fucking shit.
Yeah.
But I think there is another place opening up. There is going to be another live music venue in
that's
town.
cool.
Yeah. But just sad news that the came. But it's all sad. All the pubs are closing.
I know. Well, they're turning one on for the final thing. So it's
Are you
pretty
going?
I'm not. I should be.
Yeah.
Because actually, I need to call you out for something. It's my birthday today, mate.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
and-
I knew that. I brought you a sausage roll.
yeah, actually true.
Yeah.
I should be going because it's my birthday weekend, but I didn't get tickets because it's a proper festival.
It's huge.
Yeah,
The
like-
tickets are like $150.
Like, I don't remember the names off the top of my head, but the one that I, for some reason, remember is like just 360. 360.
Yeah,
gonna be
360.
there. It's not. Is Hilltop gonna be there?
I don't know. You can get the lineup up now, but it's huge, and it's 3 nights. So I think the first night's like the like indie artists. The second night's all the DJs.
Oh fuck! Maybe I can go for it.
Get a ticket on the Friday.
360.
Is your birthday today?
Yeah.
Fuck. Terrible friend.
Man, I told you the other day, man.
Did ya?
God.
Did you?
Yeah, it's not like I've known you less than a year or anything. How the fuck? Why wouldn't you know?
How old are you?
I'm 25 on the dot.
Are you really?
Yep. What
that's
were you
awesome.
doing at 25?
I was in Ireland playing footy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, having a bit more fun than me, by the sounds.
Well-
Well, not right now. I mean, my stars have changed. On my birthday, we're in a fucking
This
filming
is-
a podcast, Daily Blue Weekly.
We're not filming much at the moment. mate. The camera just.
we're recording a podcast.
But yeah, fucking, that's crazy. 25 today.
Mm-hmm.
We might have to go get a schooner after this.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't know that.
Man, I forgive you. But this is my gift. Having the pleasure to co-host and produce the Daily Blue Weekly.
Daily Blue
Seth
Weekly.
Century going to be there Friday. I like Seth
Yeah, so the
Century.
Friday's like the hip hop night. The Saturday's like indie rock kind of stuff, and then
Thinking so.
Sundays all the. We wanted tickets for the Sunday because it's for the older crowd, Green Spoon and the likes on the Sunday, I
I
believe.
don't know them. Only one on the Sunday I know is Dune Rats, and I'm not even huge on them.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be fucking good. Well, you should go.
Yeah, just because it says sold out, like I just want to go to that
Bit of
one.
buy a panic
Yeah,
being created.
it's like that one. And for a on the Daily Blue,
Yes.
get those voice messages coming of your stories at the cane bar.
Yeah, let's have some Cambridge war stories.
You know, you can maybe bleep names if you need to. You can maybe just refer to narcotics as rhyming words or
Yeah,
something if
just
you want to.
Whatever you
We'll
want.
keep you anonymous if you want.
This is a safe place. All right, that's our local news for this week. We'll finish with a bit of sport. So you were telling me just before there is a Warnie docuseries being made about the great Shane Keith Warne.
So Origin Game 1, I'm at a mate's house I was enjoying it before the fucking game started. But I saw an ad for, the Shane Warne docuseries, dramatised version of Shane Warne's life. Now, I'm not a massive cricket fan. Again, I'm sorry, that's terrible news.
I'm not this time of year the Ashes is on, and I get behind it because the punters clubs are heavily invested in it.
Okay.
And I do like the Ashes, particularly when we're winning. But I never played cricket as a kid.
Me either.
And I'm not fucking big on cricket.
No.
Unless, do you know what? When it's the summer holidays and you can, if I've got, you got heaps of spare time and you can just have it on in the background and watch
While
a
you're sick
bit.
of things.
Yeah. But as far as like being a cricket nuffy or anything, not me.
But that's what I like about Shane Warne. As Australia collectively, we all just know that he was a mad cunt.
He made cricket cool.
Yeah, he made cricket.
He made cricket cool. He's a rock star.
Now that is what I want from this docu-series.
Yeah, I'd say they'll do it.
I want very little cricket. I want Shane Warne's leaked videos reenacted.
Well, that was do you remember where you were when Warnie passed?
No, but it was it last year or this year?
No, it was last year. Oh, yeah, it was last year.
Because it was like
It's one of those big moments. It was like we were in Manly. I was actually on right up it, paralytic.
Oh.
And the news came on. The telly was on in the background. It's like Shane Warne's dead, and we were like, "What the fuck?" But that's how I knew how good, like that's how you know how fucking cool Warnie was.
Yeah.
Because remember, it's like after they died. So I remember like Michael Jackson died, and I think it was after Michael Jackson died that the allegations of him being a kiddie fiddler came out. After Warnie died, one of the first salacious things I saw about him was a leaked video of him having a foursome.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's how fucking cool this cunt is. Like, MJ died and they're like, he's a pedophile. And Warney died and they're like, well, he was having foursomes. There was that video getting around of him. Like, it was like CCTV in a brothel.
It was like
yeah. I was like, damn, that guy was the fucking man.
And it's like, damn, this guy died yesterday.
Yeah.
And he was just...
It was like 12 hours later, there was a video of him having a foursome getting around. I was like, fuck, he ruled so hard.
Which is so awesome, but like simultaneously so fucked.
I mean, it sucks if you're his kids. And
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing that in this little article I read. Apparently, one of the oldest daughters isn't real happy that it's coming out.
The series?
Yes.
I wonder why. No, I'm not being like, I wonder why.
I imagine he like.
They probably portray him as exactly how he was, a fucking pisshead, party animal, like womanizer.
Did he like? And this is a man asking a question. I'm looking at the camera. It's not even fucking on.
That's all right.
Did he like? Does he have kids to multiple women and shit like that?
I couldn't tell you. I know he does have multiple.
Blame me for thinking it though.
He loved the ladies.
Yeah.
He loved the ladies.
Spin bowl of doom. We're gonna be like, that's one of Warney's.
Yeah, 100%.
Never claimed.
Yeah, you're it.
If I could fucking play cricket.
You're it. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know who it said in the article that you sent me who's playing Shane. What a role to get as an actor.
Awesome role.
You're going to play Shane Warne. It's like, yes. Let's go.
Yes.
Fucking let's go.
Are we doing the threesome scene?
Yeah. It was a foursome. Yeah, there was three chicks.
True, yeah.
He's the goat. He's the goat.
Not the worst setup. Because that was the setup, isn't it? Isn't that the yarn?
No, well, there was... I don't know if that was
something else.
No, well, I don't know if that one was the setup, but there was one of the English papers, I think it was on an Ashes tour, and one of the English papers, they did set him up. They sent prostitutes round to his room.
Yeah.
And they'd hidden a camera in his room. They sent 2 pros round to his room, and the king took the bait. Yeah. The king, he's only a man. What's he supposed to do? Especially the king.
Some people are getting set up, like, going to jails and shit. Warney just had to have sex with a couple hookers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and every bloke's going to take that bait. Doesn't matter if you're fucking Shane Warne or Gabe Thomas. Like, you're taking that bait.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So, yeah. Well, that'll be a good one to watch. Did it look good? You said you watched the trailer.
It genuinely looked pretty good.
It could be good.
Like, and I like dramatized, like, fucking documentaries. I'm not a massive actual documentary man, but when they, like, kind of do it with actors and shit, I can invest in them.
Alex Williams is playing Shane Warne.
Shooter
Williamson.
He probably wouldn't
Shooter and Warney's lives are like pretty parallel.
Yeah. Except Warney could bowl.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only difference. Warney and Shooter tells jokes. Yeah. And our final bit of sport for the first episode, we're recording this like about 3.5 hours before Origin kicks off. Yep. At the risk of looking like complete fucking idiots, have you got a prediction for tonight?
Look,
what's your thoughts? What's your feelings?
Here's my initial feelings is 1, it's my fucking birthday.
Yeah.
2, the first ever recording of the Daily Blue Weekly on the day of Origin. It's fucking got blue written all over it.
Blue.
Your hat has a B on it. Is your B red?
That is why I wore it. It's Boston. It's a Boston Red Sox, but it's not Boston Maroon Sox.
Nah. Oh, that's true.
They're not the Boston Maroon Sox.
My hat's blue. I'm thinking I know it's a fucking hard to believe, but you got to back the state, the greatest state of all, New South Wales. I think we get it done in a close one, and I actually think Mitchy Moses turns up.
Yeah. Everyone's got to play out of their skin, and Queensland have got to choke. And that's the only thing I'm hanging on to is they're so heavily favourites, and they love being underdogs.
But they're not the underdog.
They are. No, they're not. That's what I mean. Yeah. They're favourites, and they're not. They love being underdogs, and they're favourites. So hopefully they don't deal well with that. That being said, they're coached by Billy Slater, who's an immortal in waiting. Cam Smith is on the staff and Jonathan Thurston. So they'll have all that covered too. Yeah. They know what's going on. So it's going to take something special, but that's what makes sport great. It could be something special tonight.
Like, I hate that I'm fucking saying this, but New South Wales has to have a Queensland performance.
Yeah. We're going to have to, yeah. It's back to the wall, Suncorp Stadium. So hopefully...
Are you going to back us? You don't want to say it. I'll tip the Blues.
Yeah. I have to tip the Blues.
You got to tip the Blues.
But it's going to take something very, very special to get it done.
I think we can do it.
All right. Well, hopefully we're listening back to this in the next couple of days.
Thank
Just
God.
messaging our Queensland mates going, fuck you.
I love this time of year. I'm going to game 3 too.
That's epic. I've got a couple of mates that are going to game 2.
They're going
Die Hard Blues. They're beating Caxton right now going, fuck you, you two-headed cane toads.
Good. That's what the fucking
That's what it's about.
For.
That's what it's about.
But game 3 might not have fucking much point going to.
I do. I will admit, Brisbane is a fucking great city to go drinking in. Right. I had a buck show there a few weeks ago, and it hurt me to say it. It was just after we got whooped in game 1 too.
And it was winter, but I bet it didn't feel like it.
It was great. Yeah. It was so, mate, heaps fun, heaps of good pubs, Fortitude Valley, fucking reasonably priced drinks, cruisy bouncers.
Isn't that the Caxton like real close to the stadium?
Yeah, it's on Caxton Street. Yeah, it's like right next to the stadium. We weren't there, but we were like, it's fucking mad. Yeah, but fuck Queensland, go the Blues.
but fucking go the Blues.
All right. So that's our news, guys. So that's kind of, again, this is a pilot episode, so it's going to be a little bit clunky, but we're kind of thinking that we're going to give you a bit of news and then we're just going to kind of spin off the back of that. If you follow the Daily Blue on Instagram, you'll know that recently, on Gabe's recommendation, actually, I've been filming Daily Blues Chews, which is where I go around and just eat from mad takeaway joints, and then I just tell you that I liked it. Is the essence of the segment. I've just started filming them, and which is Gabe had been telling me to do for months now, and I just did the first one the other day. So we thought from here on in we will debut the chews. So we'll debut the video chews on the podcast. If you're watching it, you'll get to see it. If you're listening, just skip forward for the next 2 minutes, and it'll be on Instagram tomorrow. But yeah, so without further ado,
let's view the chew.
We have this week's edition of Daily Blues Chews. Legends, how are we? It's time for another chew. Fucking hell, my head is looking ordinary. Jesus Christ. Today we are chewing Little Figs in Carrington. A little bit of nostalgia with this joint. It's around the corner from the place that I used to work at. The story behind this bad boy, after a weekend on the piss, you haven't eaten a great deal. We used to rock into work on Mondays, and tower wraps were generally the order of the day. Obviously, because you haven't eaten all weekend, we'd have like one bite and just be fucked. Still get tower wraps all the time. So this one will not be going to waste. I'm absolutely starving today. Let's hook in. So we're talking big. We've just got the plain tortilla, sweet chili and mayo. Kind of like just your classic kind of schnitzel works. Probably can't see too well from there. We've got pineapple, egg, bacon, cheese, beetroot, just, all the good stuff. Let's go. It's very good. Salad's beautiful and fresh. Pineapple's always nice. Deadly joint. So, the greatest schnitty wraps for me have got a hand crumb schnitty. I know that sounds fussy. For me, if a schnitty, same when you're getting a schnitty, if you're out for a countery, if your schnitty's been hand crumbed, as opposed to like a frozen one, that's where you go from like a middle of the road, good everyday feed, to something special. Think, Mr. Schnitzel Warners Bay, if you know that joint. That being said, this is very good. I'm going to give the tower wrap from Little Figs, we got 7.6 to 7.6. So very good, very respectable. You could eat this every day. It's a good feed. Nothing wrong with that. Thanks for watching.
Chew on.
Chew on, boys and girls. So that's what we'll do every week. We'll debut the chews on the podcast, and then we'll launch it to the gram the day after. But as I said, if you're listening to that on audio, you probably just want to skip forward a couple. It's just me fucking chewing into the microphone and sucking food out of my teeth.
Mate, that's you've edited that up well. The first time you had a little bit of trouble editing, but you've really come into your own.
I'm a Neanderthal with this stuff, Gabe. It's fun. It's going to be fun doing this stuff with you because you're all over it and I'm a scaffolder. So this stuff is like, but it's fun. We're learning together. Another segment that we're going to be doing every week at the end of the podcast, which is sort of, we're getting into that territory now. We're still trying to come up with a name for it, but the working title at the moment is the Daily Blue Classifieds. Now, if you are on Facebook or in the Daily Blue Newsroom, the brand new Facebook group, or on Instagram, you would have seen me pestering you guys for the last couple of days for some voice clips. Probably didn't take a genius to work out what they were going to be for, some kind of podcast. So what we're going to do,
If you're in the business of thinking.
you guys send me in your voice clips, send us in your voice clips, and they can be absolutely anything. We might theme them some weeks. Next week they could be about the Cambridge or whatever. And we'll just have a listen. You guys got questions for us, we'll answer them. You got comments, we'll take them into consideration. You got queries, we'll do our best to alleviate any concerns that you got.
I mean, if you trust a bloke who edits videos in a scaffolder with your life advice, that's on you.
That's on you. You don't have to do anything with the advice, but it's going to be here. So without further ado, guys, we are going to flick through the messages you guys sent me. And you guys sent us some crackers too, so I want to say thanks to everyone that sent them in. We're going to flick through for the first edition of the Daily Blue Classifieds.
Bluey, fan the Sunday shift, mate. We got mushy caps to eat. Soldier on.
We'll keep, also, if you send them in and you want to keep them anonymous, just don't say your name. Like, for example, if that was you that was shit-faced
On the mushy caps.
and then wants to get on the mushy caps, maybe keep your name to yourself. But I love the intensity from whoever that was from. I can see who these are from too, but unless you say your name in the recording, we'll keep them anonymous for obvious fucking reasons. All right.
Hey Bluey, I come and watch you play footy today. That second half is the best game of footy you've ever played. You made no mistakes, no errors. You also sat on the bench. That's the best spot for you.
That is 100% factual. I did sit on the bench.
You can name and shame that bloke.
I got hurt just before half time. I did my groin and I didn't. But he failed to mention I was fucking going all right in the first half.
Oh, hey, pat yourself on the back. Groin injuries are tough, to be fair.
100%.
I used to get them when I shockingly played footy.
My groin's fucking horrendous too. It looks bad. Like, I mean, it actually is bad to look at. All right, we've got another one here.
Hey Bluey, so my question for you is, like, you know how sometimes throughout the day you can see the moon? How come at night time I've never seen the sun? You seem like the right bloke to ask. Thanks, mate.
You do seem like the right bloke to ask.
Why do I seem like the right bloke to ask about that?
Don't know, something to do with your red hair, probably.
That is a head scratcher. I don't have an answer for that. Why? Yeah, why can't you? You do often see the. There was a rumor getting around that the moon is just the back of the sun. They're actually the same thing.
but you've seen them both at the same time, so that you can't bet.
It's just a reflection. It's the back of it bouncing off.
Look, I've got a speculation on this.
What are you thinking?
I just think, like, the moon's a bit naughty and it doesn't go to bed on time, and the sun is just responsible and it goes to bed when it's fucking supposed to. Doesn't stay up late.
Yeah, sun seems disciplined.
Does its told.
Sun
Comes
is the
up, comes down. The moon just does what it wants.
It's a head scratcher, and I'm glad that the bloke who sent that in thought I was the man to ask.
Looks at you and goes, "That bloke knows."
Mate, this bloke looks like he knows his shit. All right, let's go another one.
Yeah, Bluey, just thought I'd send you a message just off the top of the dome. I was just having a thought while I was at work today and thought, why the fuck do security guards always chew gum? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck's that all about?
It's fucking one of the great questions. I assume when you're up that late, I do need waking up. If I was up as late as security guards, nothing freshens you up like a bit of mint in the gob. Also, you're talking to a lot of people. Especially, they probably drink a lot of coffee too. So you probably get like coffee breath, need to freshen up. And security guards are horny operators too. So they're always talking to Sheilas, so they want to have good breath. So I'm assuming that's why.
That's a great take.
Yeah. I'm looking at it logically. I'm just thinking what I would do if I was a security guard.
That was way more logical angle I was going to take. I was going to say they've just taken like the confiscated caps they've taken.
Oh, they're obviously confiscating narcotics and using them as well. They're all gurning. I mean, everything we just said is probably a combination of the three answers we just gave then. Oh, we got another one.
Righto, Bluey, got one for you. Fuck one, marry one, kill one. Phil Gould, Peter Sterling, and Paul Gallen. There you are, up at Sun.
Fuck one, marry one, kill one. Pete Sterling. Who was it? Paul Gallen and Gus. I would marry Sterlo because he's an absolute sweetheart. Sterlo would look after you. He's got plenty of... I mean, they've all got plenty of coin too.
My dad lives near him, you know.
Yeah, he's up the bay, isn't he? I think. Yeah. So I'd marry Sterlo. You'd have a nice life with Sterlo. I would... Oh, that's tough, the other two.
I know I'm killing.
I would kill Paul Gallen before he killed me. because he's a pugilist too. He could kill you with his bare hands. So that means I got to fuck Gus.
Yeah.
I don't like that either. But
I love Gus, man.
do you know what? I might change my answer. I might marry Gus.
That's what I was going to do.
Because he's very, very powerful and well connected. So you could just be a trophy wife and then fuck Sterlo because he's the cutest and then I still kill Gal.
Yeah, I'm the exact same.
Yeah.
I think Gus would fucking... Wait, we marrying Gus? Yeah, he'd give you the, he'd get you up in the morning.
You just get the life.
He'd get you motivated.
Take you out for Chinese feeds.
Oh, yeah. He loves a Chinese.
His famous Chinese feed, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm marrying Gus. And he's just so like wealthy and powerful.
And anyone that can fucking rev up an Origin like Gus is good enough for me.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Honest answers only. What would you do if you come home from work and then you found Buzz Rothfield in bed with your missus?
Obviously like that one, the fella that sent that in.
That was
rated
the
his question.
fakest laugh.
What would you do if you came home and you found Buzz Rothfield in bed with your missus? I mean, it wouldn't take much to kill him. You could definitely beat Buzz to death fairly easily.
Blow him over.
Yeah. Stiff breeze would knock Buzz over at the moment. Yeah. It would be nice to... Because he obviously has made a career of... like fucking blokes with scandals.
Yeah,
so it would be nice to catch him in a scandal and then give it to Dean Ritchie or like one of the other journos and plaster his face all over the papers and call him a scumbag.
Right, because he's obviously a fair bit older than your missus, so he's like caught with a young, yeah.
There's a great photo of him. It's obviously like a sportsman's lunch or something with like a young lingerie model sitting on his knee. Sure. He must love the piss. His nose is so red. He's got like, I reckon he loves the sauce Old Buzz, flog. All right.
Watch yourself, Buzz.
Next one.
Yeah, Bluey, mate, serious question. I am yet to see a red-headed bloke with an ugly chick. Is that because red-headed blokes are just so ugly that every chick standing next to them is good looking? Or is it because the redheads just attract chicks with redhead fetishes and they're always good looking? Very debatable, mainly because I think redheads just attract good looking chicks.
Yeah, I mean,
he's giving your missus a pat on the back there.
Yeah, my missus is a good sort, which is hard to believe. There's no video currently, but if you know what I look like, it's fucking... I am a redhead too. The hair on my head is quite dark, but many, many moons ago, I was a fiery redhead. I still got obviously heaps of red in the beard.
Your mustache is
a
giveaway.
But my theory with redheads and what we generally... look at Prince Harry. He's a prince. Being a prince is helpful.
It is.
Meghan Markle is, regardless of what you think of her, she's a fucking good sort. Yeah. Regardless of what you think of her as a person. 100%. She's a good sort. Look at Ed Sheeran. Take the millions of dollars and talent out of it.
The two most successful redheads.
I'm third.
Oh yeah, we're true.
They're average looking dudes. And yes, they're incredibly successful and wealthy. But they're with glamours. My theory with blood nuts is because you get hammered. You might find this hard to believe, but you get hammered when you're a kid. You get teased a lot. Yeah. And you develop sink or swim. And you develop a really good sense of humour.
Yeah.
And you also learn to forgive. No, I don't know. That's not true. I'll never forgive anyone.
I've got their names down.
But you become quick-witted and then... Charismatic as a defense mechanism. Yeah. And chicks like it.
How many rangers would just hate Chris Lilly?
Yeah.
Because
all of us.
Rang a roundup, just the term ranger. That was not... Fuck, that probably came around when...
Nah, ranger's an old one.
Oh, really?
Like it's short for like a ranger. Like a orangutan.
I get that, but I thought it was like...
It was
popularised by Chris Lilly.
He definitely popularised, but it's been around for...
Okay.
He brought it into the mainstream for sure.
Shows my age.
Yeah. The bloke that sent that in is a successful redhead too.
He's giving his own missus a pat on the back.
Yeah. I won't say who it is, but he's a successful redhead. So
shout out to the redheads.
Thank you for that one. All right. This is a long one.
Boys, Dallas here, To The Point Podcast. Love this. Boys, just wanted to get your prediction on Freddie's choice with going with Mitch Moses. Now, it always seems like the Daily M Player of the Year, besides if they're a Queenslander, never seems to make a New South Wales side or gets left out of it. Now, Nico Hines, Sharks doing well. I'm not too sure why they wouldn't have played him. Luai is actually playing really well. What the fuck is this cunt doing? Oi! What the fuck are you doing? Are you a fucking idiot, mate? Sorry, boys. I just ran into my Yeah, what's your predictions, boys? What are you thinking? Has Freddie lost the plot completely? Too much earthing? Get back to me, boys.
Thanks, Dale.
Dallas Stone there from the To The Point podcast with a nice little bit of road rage in the middle there as well. That's outstanding.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, we just touched on the Origin predictions, but with the selections, fuck, it must be a hard job. Nico Hines been the best player in the comp for the last like year and a half, besides maybe Cleary, in terms of halfbacks. So it is weird, but then there's just pressure on. We can't afford to lose. He was playing poorly. He missed one tackle.
Yeah, judging him on that game where he's out of position, like, it's fucked. But I don't know if that's why he got dropped.
Yeah, he had a bludger, and then the week after the Sharks played Melbourne, so he's playing against Munster and Grant, and they put fucking 50 on him.
Yeah.
And he was dog shit, and then he was dog shit the week after as well.
And
so
then he had a good game against the Dogs.
It's a tough one. It'd be hard. He's probably a bit hard done by, but it's fucking ruthless. And Freddie, I don't know, Freddie's under the pump too. Pressure does weird things to you.
I don't like how much like New South Wales fans are off Freddie.
Yeah, we're ruthless.
Yeah, everyone's just turned on Freddie. Like, is he? Do you really think the cunt's trying to throw the game?
But I don't think the Queenslanders would have been that supportive of Kevy Walters either. Like, he was a shit coach, and they're all good being loyal when they're winning.
Yeah,
it's easy to be fucking pick and stick when you're fucking flogging, like when you're winning all the time. I think it's fake news that they're more loyal than us. I think everyone gets cutthroat when they start getting beat.
I also think Luai did deserve to stay. A lot of people don't like Luai, and it was weird because he probably only got picked because of Nathan.
Because of Cleary.
But he played better than Nathan game one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm fucking nervous.
100%.
I'm very nervous.
G'day, Bluey. How do you think Mitchell Moses will go for the New South Wales Blues?
Well, yeah, give your take. You haven't said if you think he'll go good or not.
It's so hard.
You don't believe.
Oh, it's just hard, mate. Because Moses is a, sorry, my phone's on the Bluetooth. Moses is a sorry, I'll just turn this on mute.
Yeah.
Moses from like, I'm old enough. Like I've watched Moses come like through, and he's good when things are going good. Like he's a front runner.
Okay.
Like this is my fucking opinion.
Yeah.
Moses is like a front runner. Like he's like, if Parrott are on top, he's like so
just
good.
Killing it.
And then if it's not going good, he's fucking just spraying his own blokes,
I don't
sulking.
Like that. Yeah, okay.
So it'll be interesting to see. Like I haven't seen heaps of games where like Moses has pulled him out of the shit.
Good point.
That's me. And again, I don't watch that much footy either. I'm just going off what but
No.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. I fucking hope he does well because he is a good player. But he's just like he's like, yeah, if we're going good, he'll be sweet. If it starts getting tight or like fucking we're not going good, I don't think you'll see much from him.
Hard to see it like him coming to save us.
Yeah, but I hope he goes out and has a fucking blinder, eh? Yeah. I really do.
100%.
Thanks for these questions, guys. They're fucking awesome, by the way.
Yeah, I love these. This is mad.
What do you think a better lifestyle is? Working with your hands or working with your head? Obviously, you work with your hands and you break your back each day, but do you feel you get a better reward out of it than if you were able to, go into work in an office and be one of those fuckwits? What do you think? Cheers.
That's actually a really great question.
Good head scratcher, that one. Yeah, it's a great decision, isn't it? Especially when you're growing up and you're trying to decide what you want to do. Do you want to work with your hands and that? And I think a lot of people probably work with their hands out of necessity just because they have to. Yeah, it's a hard one because
So have you, for quotations, worked with your head before? What did you do before scaffolding?
I used to produce
the radio show.
Yeah, while I was scaffolding, I used to produce Tanya and Steve for Triple M Newcastle, which I suppose you'd say that was an office job. You're sort of working with your head, like teeing up interviews and answering phones and that kind of thing. Yeah, it's interesting because you get heaps of satisfaction out of working with your hands, and it is fucking hard physically.
The time off seems more rewarding.
Yeah, like when you get some downtime, knocking off and being able, Friday arvos, going for a schooner or just going for a swim, or it's heaps satisfying, and it is nice. I got especially as you start getting older, and your body starts you get fat quick, and I got mates that work in offices and stuff, and even Sparky mates that just soft. For lack of a better word, soft. So it is nice being like, if fucking someone needs a hand lifting a sofa or fucking moving houses, being like, yeah, no dramas. Like, you've been like able to help and fucking, but it is fucking hard. And yeah, I don't know, working, like having a nice air conditioned office job would be nice too. I don't think one's more satisfying because they still work hard. Like if
it depends who you are.
Yeah, and if you're an accountant or like, I don't even know what, like I like know like one, I think office jobs, I think like insurance.
Yeah.
There's obviously like millions of office jobs, but I'm just like, insurance. I don't know what office jobs there are.
Someone in a bank.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So, and they're obviously hard jobs too, like stressful and you got to fucking problem solve and everything, but it's just a different kind of hard. So if you're a young person out there looking for career advice, you are in the wrong place. do not get it from here. But everything's like this swing.
Respectfully, he didn't sound too young.
Nah, and I think he was.
Oh, okay.
I think this
Sorry,
guy
brother.
is. No, that's what I said the same thing, and then I think he's like, he's not long out of school.
He's got a deeper voice than me, but
Yeah.
it's not fucking hard at all.
Yeah, but yeah, no, fuck. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. Swings and roundabouts with everything. Everything's fucking
Whatever
got
you
its
enjoy
perks.
more, whatever makes you the most cash.
Yeah.
Maybe not whatever makes you the most cash. Whatever
Nah.
you're more passionate about.
Whatever makes you the most cash.
Test and tags save lives.
That's just a comment from one of the great electricians. Testing and tagging, which is where you test electrical equipment and tag it to see if it's safe or unsafe, saves lives. I mean, yeah.
I mean, the statement's correct.
He's 100% right.
This is for your voice clip or sound bite thingy. It might sound like it's echoing a bit because I am taking a shit at the moment. And I don't know why I'm doing this for you because you've brushed me for a beer and you've brushed me for a podcast. So, you know what? Fuck you. Anyway, beer soon and podcast soon.
That was Dane Sherritt, South African 5'8", host of the Unpro Pro podcast. I was meant to go do a podcast with him last week. We had family up that decided to stay for a bit longer, so I didn't go. He's obviously not bitter about it. Good. I'm glad he left us a message while he was hanging his shit too. Funnily enough, that's the first thing I did when I walked into your nice house. I was like, damn, Gabe, this is nice. I need a shit.
Well, you know what's funny is like I got to do a shit before Bluey gets here. So not long before, I warmed the seat up.
That's why you were happy for me to go in there and launch because you'd already destroyed it.
South African.
Dano, we will get a beer. We will do a podcast very, very soon, mate. I'm sorry.
Accents are awesome.
He's got a hot accent. Oh, this is garbage.
It's time! In the fair dinkum department, he's come up short.
That feels good. I can feel that all the way down in my plums. Bonfire! He's the cum his mum should have swallowed.
He's actually sent sound bites.
Ah, piss! Piss inside my ass! Hey, Thurston!
Yeah.
Thurston! Where's your Queensland spirit now, Thurston?
Yeah, that was my boy. I won't say his name because he's a teacher, but I don't know if he understood the assignment, but I did say anything.
I might have to get some and assign sound bites to the button so I can feel it in my plum.
They were
Dodgeball?
perfect. No, that's Eastbound and Down.
Okay, that's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. And then he sent me a message afterwards. He goes, let me know if you want specific movie quotes or Shakespeare. I have range.
We will have to get him to set them. The more this podcast goes along, we'll get him to.
We might get a few off the big fella. What do we got?
Oi, what's a dolphin's favourite letter?
Same dude. Same dude.
What we need to get him to do is like the intros to the segments. So if we actually have like a little sound bite and he introduces them for us.
That could be very handy.
Yeah.
I'll send him a few scripts, see what he comes up with.
Joshua Bluey Nelson, it is Bradley Bishop here, mate. Hold on one sec, lad. Oh, talk to me, baby. Talk to me. I've got a yarn for you, mate. So just over in the States, just got back, had a mate's wedding over there. How's this for some all-time wedding form? One of my mates was on the bridal party, and we were trying to get him to hook up with the single bridesmaids. Mate, it didn't happen. He dropped the ball there, and towards the end of the night, we were looking around, we're going, where the fuck is Perry? And Perry had taken the bride's cousin into the bridal suite to get the job done. And look, in the defense of the bride, she took it like a champ, and she wasn't too upset. But I tell you who else took it like a champ, mate? Her fucking cousin, baby. Her fucking cousin took it like a champ, dude. And that's how you ruin a wedding, son. Anyway, Bluey, I'm going to enjoy this crisp beverage, this West Coast IPA, 6.3%. It'll put some lead in your pencil, mate.
That was Bradley Bishop from the Sunday Service. Very funny stand-up comedian here from Newcastle. And good story. He's just been in the States for a wedding. Obviously had a fucking whale of a time. Rooting at a wedding. I can't say I've been at any weddings where people have been rooting, but, well, not that I know of. Obviously, it could be a little bit more discreet than those guys. That's pretty funny.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, weddings are good. I went to fucking tons of them last year. I've only got a couple this year, which is nice, but they're expensive.
Oh, mate. I love, there's nothing better than going to weddings. I've only been to 2, and it's just like free piss, love is in the air.
Yeah, they're a good time, especially if there's heaps of your mates there.
100%.
Rooting each other.
Well, I've actually got one coming up this year soon too, so I'm keen. One of my, like, I've only been to, like, relatives, family and stuff, but so a mate who's my age is getting married this year, so I should be fucking in for a good time.
Yeah, they're always good fun.
I won't be rooting bridesmaids' cousins though.
You don't know, mate. It could happen. Thank you, Bradley. That was outstanding.
Yeah, shout out to Sunday Service.
Bluey, what's going on? It's a big day, mate. Mate, you asked for voice clips, let's give you one. Mate, what's the fucking go of these site managers these days? Cunts couldn't fucking organise a fucking fuck in a brothel with a pocket full of 50s and a fucking bag of coke. Fucking, I come back last week from a fucking scaff job. The cunt didn't even have the fucking brickwork or the frames. We got there before the frames even showed up, mate. It was fucking bullshit. Now we got to go back fucking and alter the cunt. Unbelievable scenes, mate. Unbelievable scenes. To cap it off, it's out of middle of bumfuck nowhere, so it's expensive as fuck for them. That's the end of that scaff rant, but let's go to the good old fucking footy. Tedesco at fullback again. Come on, cunt. New South Wales is fucked this series. Right. Have a good one, mate. Thank you.
The way you said that was
Big Davo, that's a belter. And that is how everyone talks about site managers. Literally, Davo could be anyone on any job site anywhere. That's the general consensus for site managers, true or otherwise. They get blamed for everything. I couldn't organise a fucking route in a brothel. If I had $1 for every time I've heard that, and the Blues are fucked.
Yeah, true.
Big Damo's fucking 2 from 2 there. That's a belter. Very, very good.
The Blues are going to win in the 80th minute after you've already pumped down a carton and you're going to run down your street naked.
That's
my Origin prediction.
That's a hell of a prediction. Blues to win into a fucking nudie run.
So if they win on the 80th minute, will you do it?
Is that what he said?
He said Blues to win in the 80th minute. And
the Blues are going to win in the 80th minute after you've already pumped down a carton and you're going to run down your street naked.
So if they score a game winner on the 80th minute, will you do a nudie run? Are you prepared to put that for the podcast listeners?
No.
Next.
Oh, we'll be stoked, and there could be some nudity, but I'm not going to go out and say I'm going to do it. But never say never.
All right, here's one for you. If you could let any bloke fuck your missus, who would it be, and why is Scott Boland the correct answer? And then just as I fucking send that message right then, Scott Boland just got out. Fuck me. However, though, Scott Boland is the most beautiful man known to mankind.
That one's come in at nearly midnight, so I'm going to assume our friend there was sitting up drinking stubbies watching the Ashes last night. Look, I would let Scotty Boland shag me misses after his last few efforts in the Test match arena. He looks like he might be packing a bit of heat, though. Could have a fair hog on him, Scotty Boland. So potentially we'd have to break up. I don't think I could take it back, but I'd be happy to see you go with him. He looks like a good bloke. He's very humble. He's obviously a freak athlete. Yeah,
I mean, you don't want anyone rooting your missus, but if you
Mate,
find out they got a bigger hog than you, yeah,
I'm happy.
It's game over.
I'm happy. At least she's getting pleasured somewhere. Good to see. It must be some tired units at work today, staying up, fucking watching the cricket last night. Far out.
G'day, cunt. What about the fucking cricket being rain delayed? What a fucking shit fight. Stuck in Townsville and there's fucking nothing on TV.
That sounds bad.
Go to sleep, cunt.
Yeah.
Go to bed, bro.
That's very funny. And there's obviously a lot of healing and immeasurable amount of hurt at the moment. But that, and then secondly, in the local footy comp recently, a young man from the Aberglasslyn Ants lost his life as well.
Playing the game.
Yeah, playing a game of footy, which is just, again, like
terrible stuff.
The most horrific thing ever. So, yeah, I didn't want to bring the podcast down too much, but a couple of things, obviously massive things that have happened lately, and just wanted to make mention of sort of anyone that's listening that's been affected by it. I mean, everyone's thinking of you. There's obviously going to be a lot of hurt and a lot of broken hearts at the moment, but everyone's thinking of you and everyone's here for you. So
hopefully we cheered you up a bit.
Yeah, hopefully. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week.